this Venn diagram example, we're looking at marketing to a certain group. We have buyers under 50 who are female. But using a Venn diagram, we should be able to break up all of the component parts. What if we were interested in the questions, how many are buyers but not female? Buyers or female? You're not a buyer and you're over 50. And finally, you're not a buyer, you're a male and you're over 50. Let's first try to draw the Venn diagram with the specific statistical percentages given to us. First of all, we'd have to draw a separate circle for buyers, one for under 50, and one for female. Look at that. Aren't those good circles? Pretty quick, huh? Now, how are we going to fill these in? First of all, can we put in 55% are buyers at this point? That would be a little too vague in the idea that we can't get all four of the components filled in. So we might have to skip that. Also, for 43% under 50, same problem. Too many categories to fill in. So we want to go to the most restrictive first. In our case, look at this on the bottom. It says female buyers under 50. That again looks like it includes all three categories. You're a female, you're under 50, and you're a buyer. So we could fill that in with the 7%. Working our way up the chart, we have buyers and female being 20%. Buyers and female would include the red and the blue. Could I put the 20% in here? No, you can't. The 20% includes the blue and the red combined. So if I take 20 minus 7, I'm left with 13. Keep going up. Buyers and under 50. Buyers and under 50 is the red and the green. Same problem. 30 minus 7, you end up with 23. You doing okay so far? We have 15% females and under 50, so that includes the blue and the green circle. In our case, the 15% has to take out the 7 to take out the overlap of all three being 7. So 15 minus 7 is 8. After a while, you get the hang of this. We can go to the categories that are a little bit more vague to begin with, such as buyers, under 50, and female, and fill them in because we have three of the component parts for buyers. See if you can get this piece. Now to fill in this section for the buyers, the total is 55 in the entire red circle. So if I take these three and subtract them from 55, what am I left with? I came out with 12. See if you agree. 23 and 7 is 30, plus 13 is 43. Take away from 55 and you have 12. For the under 50 category, we had 43%. So if I take 43 minus these three, I'm left with 5. Look good? So we did both of these, and now we have 46% are female. If I take out 13, 7, and 8, that's 28 off of 46 is 18. Check my math, see if I'm on the right track. Now in this example, in contrast to the Russia group project, which had counts, this has all percentages. So what do you think all the percentages should add up to? Yes, you're right, 100%. We should add up all the parts and see if we get 100%. As we said, all of the percentages should add up to 100% in a Venn diagram. But when we added these up, I only came up with 86%. So did we make a mistake? Well, it's possible, but I think we did a good job on this one. What really happened is that there's still people on the outside. Of course, you may not be a buyer, you may be 50 or over, and you might be a male. So the people on the outside would be 100 minus 86, and that leaves us with 14%. So on the outside here, we have another 14%. So if you wanted to answer the question, how many people are buyers but not female, it came out to be 35%. That's because if you're a buyer but you're not female, you can't be. You're not a female, so you're none of these, but you are a buyer. Do you see what's left in the buyer circle? 12 plus 23. That gives you 35%. For part C, where it says buyers or female, and we got 81%, let's take a look at how we did that in the Venn. If you recall, buyers or female, remember the word or is inclusive. So it would include the red circle and the blue circle, including that intersection. So it's the total of 12, 23, 13, 7, 8, and 18, which would give you 81%. Another way to do it would be to consider that there are 100% and take out the 5, which is not included in our red and blue circle, and the 14. If you take 100 minus 14 and 5, you still get 81%. For part D, where you're not a buyer and you're over 50, let's see how we got that. If you're not a buyer and you're over 50, that would be nothing here because these are buyers, not a buyer, and you're over 50, so you can't be under 50. So it doesn't include any of these. So my hands are over the pieces. What's left? This 18 and 14. That gives us a total of 32%. Last but not least, in part E, you're not a buyer and you're a male over 50. Do you notice that we have 14%? How did we get that? Well, if you're not a buyer and you're a male, so you can't be female, and you're over 50, so you're not under 50, it's none of this stuff inside. So what's left? The 14% on the outside. That's the answer to part E. Now, if you go back to the original demographic information that was presented in this marketing study, all of this has overlap. It would be very difficult to answer the questions that were posed earlier without drawing a Venn diagram to break this up. If you add up all of these, it's going to be way over 100%. So Venn diagrams, again, can break up the overlap in demographic statistical information, especially percentages and counts. Hope that helps. If not, send me a note.